Meditation is an understanding, absolute and total understanding of the illusion. Is seeing it. Who are you? Question that and dare to recognize your nothing. Freedom is not of the self. We cannot bring these codes that we use in search on the outside to our inner world. Freedom is not of the self. It is from the self. It is from the illusion of self. Rather than fighting with comparison, realize that there is nobody to compare. I remember when innocently, without any spiritual ideas, I was looking at, as a young man who was, wandering his way through life and looking at others as an inspiration to figure out what's going on here, stepping outside of society and totally new playground where you can't follow what your parents told you or what society tells you or what the commander tells you. You leave this world behind and you are okay. So it's a blank sheet now. There it was filled with borrowed answers, now it's a open page, blank sheet, and not everything a young man is daring to have the confidence to leave blank. So you look at others, what are the codes? How do we move here? Where do I find my strength? You look at those who are more experienced and this movement from the mainstream outside as a young man, who just stepped out of his adulthood life and starting blank, was a great restart. And leaving this identity behind, I was like, okay, I don't want to be that. What they told me I am, so who am I? And it was just an innocent question that was not asked as a spiritual quest or anything like that. Just trying to figure out in a world that was tremendously attractive to me, appealing to me, like, yes, this unknown is, attracts me like a moth to the light. And okay, then who am I in that? And whenever I checked and looked, I found nothing inside. Nothing. Even I looked inside and I was blank, empty. Okay, no, relax. Eventually you'll find something, or something will grow in there. No need to rush, no need to, only the self-esteem to be shaken. In the meantime, you can pretend to be somebody until you'll figure out what you are and all that. And, and I looked at others in retroactive. I know that it was pretentious, but I looked at them and wow, that person is something and that person is something. The comparison point from the outside. And every time looking inside, there was nothing there. But how can you be it or admit it in a society that is evaluating you by what you are and not what you are not? In a society that if you are still dependent, you need You're still on the hunt. You need these muscles of the image to attract some energy. Yeah? And who dares to say those who say I'm nothing is also spiritual ego trip. Yeah? There are those who dare to say I am nothing, and they're proud of it, and it's the same like saying I'm somebody, but it's more disguised as an ego trip. It's a spiritual ego trip. So to be that nothingness, when you're not ready to all the consequences of being totally free and outcasted. But it was there from the very first look within. It was clear that it's nothingness. Only later on, a few years later, Osho came and filled the missing link that what you see is the truth. And actually, rather than fighting it or avoiding it or being intimidated by it, be it. That's the freedom, that's your freedom. And once not overlooking this nothingness anymore is something that needs to be taken care of later on, or slowly with it, or it will be fixed as we go along, rather than not treating it as a problem, but embracing it and diving into the depth of it, disappearing into it. That was the freedom, the need to be somebody, to the dissolving into nothingness.